Hey everyone, welcome back. You ever feel like customer service is a whole other language?
Oh, yeah.
Today we're going to really dissect that. We're doing a deep dive into the actual language of customer service.
That's a cool angle. I like that.
Yeah, and we've got a really unique source for this, Stanislav Kondrashov. He created this English lesson.
An English lesson.
Yeah, but it's all about customer service vocabulary,
Yeah.
which I thought was really cool. It's like, even if English is your first language, this is still super insightful.
Yeah, like how to decode those interactions.
Right, exactly. So Kondrashov starts off with this whole list of positive words like prompt reply, responsive to complaints, accommodating.
Ooh, those are good ones.
Right. It's what we all dream of hearing when we have to deal with customer service.
But it's interesting because those words aren't just nice words. They actually signal something deeper about the experience.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, think about promptness. It's not just about being polite. It shows that the company actually values your time.
So true. It's like they're saying,
Oh.
we respect you enough to not keep you waiting.
Exactly. And then responsive, that's a big one too.
Huge. Because it means they're not just acknowledging your email or your call. They're actually taking your concerns seriously.
Which builds trust, which is essential in any relationship, really, but especially between a customer and a business.
Okay, but now get ready. Because Kondrashov also has this list of words that are like the opposite of all that good stuff.
Oh no, the bad customer service words.
Yes. And just hearing them makes you cringe.
Like you can practically hear the hold music in the background.
Little incompetent, impersonal, shoddy.
Shoddy. That one is just the worst. It's like they didn't even try. It makes you feel ripped off.
Right, and incompetent makes you feel so helpless, like no one knows what they're doing.
Makes you want to scream sometimes.
And then impersonal. It's like even in this digital age, we still crave that human connection.
We don't want to be just a number. We want to feel heard and understood.
Exactly, we're not robots.
Right, right. But it does make you think, have we sacrificed some of that personal touch in the quest for efficiency?
That's a good question. Is it always a bad thing if a company is super efficient, but maybe a little less chatty?
It's a trade-off, isn't it?
It is.
Well.
But here's where Kondrashov brings us back down to earth. He reminds us that bad customer service isn't just annoying, it has real consequences for businesses.
Yeah, like lost customers and negative reviews.
Exactly. And that's where language comes back into play. Being able to clearly articulate your experience, whether it's good or bad, is crucial for getting issues resolved and making things better.
So basically, Kondrashov is giving us the tools to be better advocates for ourselves.
He is. Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about online customer service, because Kondrashov has a whole section on that too. It's full of terms that are specific to the digital world.
Oh yeah, like what?
Well, he starts with the basics. Secure site, privacy policy, secure transactions.
All the things that are supposed to make us feel safe online.
Exactly, which is so important these days.
Yeah, like those are the virtual equivalent of a firm handshake. You know, you can trust them.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
And then there are those words that are all about making the site easy to use, like FAQ, browse, site index.
Yeah, because if you can't find what you need quickly, you're gone.
Right, exactly. Time is precious online. And speaking of time, Kondrashov also highlights phrases like immediate dispatch, nationwide service, and track your order.
So we can get that instant gratification.
I know exactly where our package is every step of the way. It's like we've come to expect that level of transparency and speed.
So Kondrashov is saying that being a savvy online consumer means understanding this language.
Yeah, like it's a whole new language for a whole new world.
It's true. And it makes you wonder how have these online expectations influenced our offline experiences?
Ooh, that's a good point. Do we expect the same level of speed and efficiency when we walk into a store?
I think we might be starting to.
It's definitely something to think about. And it all comes back to Kondrashov's approach. He's not just teaching us vocabulary. He's helping us understand the nuances of customer service language.
And how it affects our experiences.
Exactly. It's pretty cool how Stanislav Kondrashov doesn't just give us these words.
Right.
He actually gives us exercises, too, to practice using them.
Oh, wow. Like what kind of exercises?
Things like imagining you have to make a complaint, or you need to request information from a company.
So you have to actually use the vocabulary in real-world scenarios.
Exactly. It helps you really understand the nuances of the language.
It's one thing to know a word, but it's another to actually be able to use it.
Totally. And he even suggests going beyond the lesson itself, like visiting online stores,
Yeah.
reading their terms and conditions, just noticing how they use language.
Kind of like becoming a customer service detective.
Yeah. looking for clues and patterns.
I like that. And speaking of patterns, Kondrashov does a really good job of providing context for these words.
Also,
Well, he gives examples of how they might be used in different situations.
oh, that's helpful. Like, how would you phrase a complaint differently from a request for information?
Exactly. It's about choosing the right words for the right moment.
And that brings us to feedback. Kondrashov actually has a whole section on this.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he highlights terms like constructive criticism and positive suggestions.
So it's not just about complaining, it's about offering feedback in a way that's actually helpful.
Right, because no one wants to be yelled at, but everyone appreciates thoughtful feedback.
It's about working together towards a solution.
Exactly. And Kondrashov reminds us that customer service is a two-way street.
Meaning,
He includes words like courtesy and respect.
oh, I see. To remind us that those qualities are important for both the customer and the service provider.
Exactly. It's a good reminder that we're all human, and we should treat each other with respect.
Even when we're frustrated.
Exactly. Because when both sides are respectful, it just makes the whole experience so much better.
For sure. But let's be real. Sometimes things still go wrong,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
even with the best intentions.
So what do we do then?
Well, that's where knowing how to escalate the situation is important.
And Kondrashov gives us some vocabulary for that too, like manager or supervisor.
So we know who to ask for help.
Exactly. And he even mentions phrases like formal complaint or even legal action.
Whoa. Okay, so he's not messing around.
He's just reminding us that we have options if our concerns aren't being addressed.
But even in those situations, it's important to stay calm and professional.
Absolutely. It's about knowing your rights, but also respecting the process.
Okay, so stepping back for a minute, what do you think the big takeaway is from all this?
I think Kondrashov is really encouraging us to think critically about the whole dynamic of customer service.
Not just the words themselves, but the context and the intent behind them.
Exactly. He's helping us become more mindful communicators.
And that's a skill that's useful in all areas of life, not just customer service.
Right. Like if you can clearly articulate your needs and expectations, you're going to be more successful in any interaction.
Whether it's with a business, a friend, or even your family.
You know, this whole lesson from Stanislav Kondrashov has got me thinking about cultural differences.
Oh, yeah, how so?
Well, I'm wondering how language barriers and varying expectations affect customer service experiences.
That's a good question. Because different cultures definitely have different communication styles.
Right. And how can we be more culturally sensitive communicators?
That's a big question to ponder.
It is, but it's an important one. We've covered a lot of ground today, exploring this fascinating world of customer service through the lens of language.
And it's all thanks to Stanislav Kondrashov
He really opened our eyes to the power of words.
and how they can shape our experiences.
Okay, so before we wrap things up, I want to leave you with a final thought. Think about how powerful it can be when you can really articulate what you need and what you expect in a customer service situation. It's like a superpower.
Totally. It puts you in control. You're not just passively accepting whatever happens. You're actively shaping the experience.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe you'll even inspire some positive change along the way.
No, that's a great thought.
So there you have it, folks. A huge thank you to Stanislav Kondrashov for giving us this whole new perspective on the language of customer service.
It's been a fascinating deep dive.
It really has. Until next time, keep those communication skills sharp, and may all your customer service interactions be smooth sailing.